All right, let me fill you in on what we talked about today with Jenny Zigrino. First, we talked about some baseball team winning some things.
Atlanta Braves win the World Series. We also talk about divorce. We talk about much younger siblings. We talk about friends with benefits. We talk about voting. Nick Cannon says he's not going to have kids anymore. He's got to stay celibate. So he celebrated Halloween in a strip club. Smart. Alec Baldwin's daughter took pictures of herself covered in blood after what just happened to the dad. I don't know. We'll talk about if that was tone deaf. Elijah Wood has been buying art from a white supremacist. Ooh. David Bowie, I just found out, had sex as an adult with a 14-year-old. That's a bummer. That's a bummer. Squid Game's crypto, turns out it's a big scam. And if you were part of it, you lost all your money. That was game number 7. Carol Baskin is suing the Tiger King. And we talk about selling pictures of yourself on the toilet. Jenny did. Welcome to Keith and the Girl. I'm Keith Malley.
I'm Chemda.
The Atlanta Braves, Chemda, have won the World Series for the first time in 26 years.
That's brave, right?
Best of 7. They won 4 games to 2. The game 6 was 7-0. And they said, we'd still like to play game 7, please. Very unsportsmanlike.
Yeah.
There you have it. All right.
Well, I thought that sounded
Chemda, I'm sorry.
Right? I'm sorry. Yep.
That's the end of Sports Corner. All right. KeithAndTheGirl.com/forums. We can see, we see all your comments and we love them. And here's somebody that writes, Keith's dad is a horrible person. He has survived, grown, and thrived despite this. Thank you, Keith, for sharing. It's really helped me cope with a lot of things gaslight related.
True. Isn't that funny that it's a compliment that your dad is crazy?
Yes.
That's it. But it's interesting. You got to let that sink in. It's a relief. Like, right. I'm not crazy. I was being gaslit. I knew what was going on. And I was being convinced that normal stuff was happening. So what a relief.
Right. Well, I have big news. Okay. If you gave to last year's Keith and the Girl Kickstarter at the Dad Emails tier or higher, surprise, you have a bonus reward. We're hosting a reading of the Dad Emails book next week. And you have a free invite-only ticket to your email through Kickstarter. So thank you for supporting the show, and we'll see you next week. It's very exciting. I got a couple tricks up my sleeve. So here's a quick update on this week's Keith and the Girl events. Get your calendar. Tonight, we meet for the chat party at keithandthegirl.com/chat every Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. This Saturday, open production meeting for Silent Trailers. Go to keithandthegirl.com/tickets. Also Saturday, new video premiere on YouTube on the Keith and the Girl channel. And this Friday, now you got to go back one. This Friday at 5 p.m. Eastern, our new Kickstarter launches. In celebration of our upcoming 17th podcasting birthday, we put together a video of 17 facts about Keith and the Girl. Check out the video, including pictures of us when we were 17, at keithandthegirl.com/kick.
This is very exciting because we took pictures of our yearbook. That's when I was 17. And we have it in the artwork for the Kickstarter. So check it out. I had eyebrows back then.
When we share the video, let us know how many facts in the video you already know. All right. keithandthegirl.com/kick. That'll launch this Friday at 5 p.m. And I couldn't be more thrilled. All right. Joining us for the second time in Keith and the Girl's history. Today's guest has been on Conan. Adam Ruins Everything. I mean, we're talking TBS, Oxygen, True TV, Fox, Comedy Central. Working opposite Billy Bob Thornton on Bad Santa 2, the new horror documentary. You can stream it now. It's called Too Late. It stars our friend Alyssa Lamperis. Fred Armisen is in it. Give that a download. Jenny.
Hello.
I'm not done, Jenny.
Okay.
You have 2 names at least. Okay.
I was like, he forgot my last name, but just go with it.
Jenny Zigrino. I appreciate it. How you doing, Jenny?
I understand that. You know what? When Keith put a pause between your first and last name, I was like, Jenny did the right thing, because all growing up, when teachers were going through the roster, like on the first day, right, it was like Jenny, Keith, and then there was a pause. And I used to just go, I'm here. That's me. Right. That pause is me. So I get it. Exactly. Yeah.
The first time Jenny was on, it's episode 3400 called Finding Oneself. And we got to know all about her. And of course, I have some follow-ups.
Cool.
Okay. Now, first
He's
of
going
all,
to tell you your follow-up.
yes.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
I'll let you know what you can follow up with.
Each time a guest is on, I can only give them so much to deal with. Right. So now here's some more things about your
Okay.
By the way, speaking of family, we didn't talk about this. Your parents were divorced, or are divorced, rather, excuse me. How old were you? And according to your stand-up, it seems that really affected you. And though my parents, it's a 17-part question. Although my parents stayed together, they shouldn't have. I've seen the fighting. I don't know. I wonder how that affects a kid, why they think it's their fault, that kind of thing. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So I was
I wish they broke up. You were 3?
I was 3. So I don't really have memory of them together. I have memories of them fighting mostly.
Right.
And then I have a weird memory of being 16 and coming home because I was with my dad at the time and coming home and my mother was visiting and they're sitting near the fireplace and they're just like, hello. Like they're both at the fireplace. Just like, hello, Jenny. I was like, hey, what's up? And they're like, you see these papers? These are the divorce papers. And they like threw them in the fire. I don't remember if it was like divorce papers or something, but they threw like some court papers between them in the fire to be like, we're friends now.
Oh my God.
Like, cool. I'm going to go to my room. This is way too much.
It's so interesting how much parents think their kids want to be involved in their life.
Yeah.
We don't care. Just where's the food? And like, can the roof not leak? Thank you.
Yeah.
Just
Well, you
live
guys
your
know-
life with your stupid ceremonies. You couldn't invite friends over for some wine and have this done in front of them. What does this have to do with me?
Did you?
I mean, they were like, they really hate each other for a good minute and then they became friends again. So it was kind of like, I guess for them, they just wanted to be like, look, we are friends and it's okay now. And I was just like, yeah, all right, whatever.
Okay, so maybe I misunderstood. So it wasn't traumatizing, or did you realize later you're dating?
There was a huge chunk of time of trauma. I would say age 4 to now. Continual trauma.
Are they fighting? What were their fights about when they weren't together?
So my dad married and we got remarried. And my mother did not like her. And so there was a lot of fights about that. And then my mother wouldn't let us see them. And then my mother like kind of kidnapped me at one point. Yeah. So I was like trapped in Boston for like 6 months. And then I went back to Minnesota. And then they just like fought and like put me and my siblings in the middle of it. They were just like not cool for a good like 10 years. I'll be like, they were really fucked up. And then it got normal.
Why did your dad and the other woman split up or something?
They split up. My parents became friends. And then I think they just were like over the ego of it, you know?
And then
and they're both very they agree very politically with each other. And my dad's partner now does not agree with him. So he needs someone to talk to.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Now, is this the new partner that they have? How old is your sister now? 10?
14.
14.
She just turned 14. Yeah. Her and I are starting a podcast.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Well, I'm curious about that. Now,
Are you calling it Who's Your Daddy?
We really should. We really should. No, it's going to be like basically her explaining Gen Z shit to me and me explaining millennial shit to her. Like,
I like that.
She wants to talk about anime. And I was like, oh, I'll tell you what a mortgage is. She's like, what's a mortgage? And I'm like, oh, bitch. Okay.
But then she went up. Okay, you'll tell me about a mortgage. I'll tell you about feelings and processing them.
Yeah. She'll be like, let me tell you about the non-binary gender. And I'll be like, okay, let me tell you about student loans.
I remember, I don't remember actually. When I was the biggest age difference between me and the youngest is 7 years. I don't remember them growing up necessarily, like me looking at them going, you're 7 years younger. How cute. What's going on in your life? This kind of thing.
Oh, you were a bad brother.
I guess so, because I don't remember that. I don't remember those times. Are you learning? I'm doing my own thing, and I'm sure if it happened now, it'd be completely different. Is it different? What are you learning anything?
I really wanted to be involved because she was so much younger than me, right? So she was 20 years younger than me. So like, I really wanted to be involved so that she felt, that she wasn't just like, she wasn't an only child. And, through that, now that she's a teenager, I find I have to be like, and she's, she's homeschooled right now because of the COVID stuff. So I just feel like, this is such a rough time in a young kid's life, 14, especially if you're a girl. So I was like, I just gotta be there as much as I can and, try to like infiltrate, bad parenting advice and be like, I've been through it all. Let me tell you what actually is going to happen.
Do you worry about sharing too much? Do they even listen? Could their brain handle it? Like in your stand-up, you talk about being 12 years old and being sent to fat camp. So you have all these feelings. You understand, how bad and horrible that is. Is it your place to say something like, "Hey, are they treating you like this?"
Oh, 100%. I'm always like, "Hey, what are they saying? What did they tell you, and what do I now have to tell you is wrong?" Like, deprogram, because they're like, she's got one of her parents is like more kind of I would say leans a little more left, and my dad leans super right, and she doesn't, because she's homeschooled, she's just around them all the time. So I'm like, okay.
That's like having Fox News on all day.
Exactly.
Like it's going to enter.
And she's she's on TikTok a lot, which is sometimes okay, but also I'm like, there's also a lot of garbage on social media that I need to help.
Oh, yeah.
filter.
It's like, sweetheart, get off social media. Let's do a podcast. Then we have to promote it on social media. But like, let me teach you the difference. Yeah. I will sacrifice.
My brain is scrambled eggs. Yours is still forming.
By the way, I didn't mention this last time, and I should have. Your album that you put out some years ago is fantastic.
Thank you.
What was it called? Jay-Z's new album?
Jay-Z's new album, yeah.
Right, based on her initials, of course.
Yeah.
And then what bothers me is when I give it a second listen, I can't find jokes I want to hear. But it is very clever the first time I hear it, where every track is one word. And it spells out, I hope that track 4J, track 5Z doesn't sue me for doing this.
Yeah.
So I really enjoyed the work on that.
Thank you.
And 4 was an especially good track. Yeah. It's fantastic. You talked about visiting Russia for a minute, right? Mm-hmm. How old were you when you did that? Because your mom's from there.
23, I think. 23.
And what's Russia 24. Like?
It was cool, man. It was really cool. It was beautiful. We just went to St. Petersburg, but it's like an 18th century town just trapped in time. It feels like Paris, and these big 18th century buildings with like courtyards and big promenades, and the palaces are gorgeous, and the big, like when you go to the art museum, what's it called? What's the big art museum in there?
But like everything you're mentioning, I imagine Keith in his head is going, okay, I could see a picture of that. I could see a picture of that. I could see a picture. Oh, I went to Russia. All right, Jenny, thank you for being here.
Me too.
I'm good now. The Hermitage, it's like a giant, it's just like all the palaces are there. And then you go to the Winter Palace. It's just like, I love fucking palaces. I just wish that I lived in the 18th century in opulence, hopefully not getting syphilis and just raped dresses and wigs and like getting tea and getting fucked. Like that is all I want. Riding a horse.
What an amazing image of that century.
Maybe dying during childbirth. Who knows?
on track 4, meaning the word 4, it's really track 9. FOR. You talked about having friends with benefits.
Yeah.
And I've talked to people about this. I never understand how it ends. Like if somebody's in a real relationship or, switches, then I can understand that. But otherwise, I'm like, why don't you guys still fuck? And almost at the same time, it's like, it is what it was. And is that because nobody wants to seem desperate? Why does it ever end?
So that one, I mean, we haven't spoken in years. That one just kind of fizzled. It just we just stopped hanging out. And I mostly hung out because it was more, sorry, I had to burp.
Well, also the friends with benefits.
It was more entertaining than the sex being incredible. I have a current friend with benefits.
Nice.
Who we've been seeing each other off and on for, oh my God, since 2014.
Okay, why not?
Yeah. When you reference it by the year, that's.
Yeah. It's been a long time. But basically our agreement is we're really good friends. And we like to fuck each other.
Mm-hmm.
And we were boyfriend and girlfriend at one point. And
does that get confusing? You don't have other friends with benefits, right?
He's open. He's he's in an open relationship. Whenever I get in a relationship, I say, okay, I have a boyfriend now, so we're just gonna go back to being friends. And he's like, cool. And then when I break up, I'm like, hey.
Do you see each other while you have a boyfriend? Do you
hang out?
Yeah. Do you hang out without the benefits?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He lives in New York, so I don't see him that often.
It is interesting to know, if I'm your boyfriend and I'm hanging out with this dude also because he's in your friend circle. I'm like, oh, as soon as we stop fucking, this guy's getting some.
Yeah, it is fun because you got to be
marry me.
Right. You got to be on top of it. You can't be oh, where's she gonna go? She's gonna go upstairs. That's where she's gonna go.
I think that it's kind of been making me think about the idea because I was trying to be open with my friend's benefits when we were dating and I didn't like it. And now I'm kind of well, maybe I do kind of want that, where I do want this open, but more of kind of a don't ask, don't tell of being on the road and touring a lot. It's stuff's going to happen. And I don't also, maybe they have a lover at home and when I'm gone, they go hang out with that person.
That's cool. I think all these things can work. I think there are some tricky parts to, if you are a truth teller, which is where you should be in these places, especially because now somebody's relying on you to be honest. Yeah. But you're oh, how was last night? How was the show? It was good. What'd you do after? Nothing. But you might have gone to this club with this other person. And then if you can't really reference it so much. And now you're going around the truth in a way. It's kind of changing your language, potentially. I don't know how people go around that except to understand when my partner's being vague, just let me be vague, right?
Yeah. Well, it's also too depends on the partner. So so my friend with benefits enjoys when I tell them about experiences that I've had. So they don't see it as I don't want to know about your relationship. And him and I kind of had this thing where I was like that for a long time where I was I don't want to know about any of your relationships. But then I kind of came to this thing where I was if I want a friendship with this person, it has to be part of the friendship too, is to know that
so then how are you going to do with the don't ask, don't tell?
Yeah. I mean, I guess because we're just friends. So it doesn't, I'm not going to build a life with this person. So that rule doesn't apply as much. But they enjoy if I'm oh, I went on a date and, it led to this. They're oh, tell me everything because they enjoy it. And then I've started to try to be more open about hearing about other sexual, things that my friend has done in a way to be it's not about me. It's not about this person is not fucking someone else because they don't like me. This person is fucking someone else because they're happy and I want to hear my friend being happy.
Yeah, you don't only go to the movies with me, you also go with this other friend. I shouldn't feel away when you're going to the movie with this other friend just because you went with this other person.
Yeah.
When you see somebody, when you're having sex with somebody and then you're back with the friend and you say how it went, would any of these guys ever try to copy what just happened? You know what I mean? He fucked me from behind in a 4-star restaurant in the bathroom. And then is he like, we got to go find a restaurant in the bathroom? Like, does he try to? I would keep trying to claim every
Keith,
little beautiful moment.
Yeah,
I mean, that's fine.
Yeah.
You know what? I think.
And then what guy can compete with that? None. Because I'll always know every best moment you ever had, and we did it.
And you're like, I'm gonna top it.
Yeah.
I think with that person, we have very special moments that we've only had that were very deep and connective, that are our moments. But it's like, it's kind of nice to have like a friend with no commitment, kind of thing, because it's like we can experiment and do cool stuff together sexually, and like it's not gonna affect like our future together. Right. Do you know what I mean? Like him and I have talked about adding another person, which when you're with a partner that you're like are building a life with, it's a whole other thing. But this is like, we're just gonna have fun and see what happens.
Right, which seems more fun.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So it's like, it's more fun. I think at some point the partner that they're seeing is kind of like gearing towards, I let you play, but I want to be there. And then if that's the case, I'm going to be like, okay, well, I'm not going to do this anymore, because I don't want to like be a part of your relationship with someone else.
Yeah, that's a different dynamic.
Yeah. I don't want to be in a polyamorous relationship.
So you say to Jenny, like, I don't want to be exclusive with you, but I will only see you. And then you can keep it fun.
Yes.
Like, yes. I don't want to be exclusive with you, but like, I'm not going to pick your partner as my partner.
Yep.
Yeah.
You mentioned
a big no to your dumb bitch you're dating. I'm sure she's very nice.
When you mentioned how your dad and the woman she's with now is so different politically, you mentioned how your dad's into QAnon, your dad's into lizard people. Yeah. How does that dynamic work? Do you have any idea? Like, how could you ignore? How can I fuck somebody who's that's right? How can I fuck somebody that believes Donald Trump is out there fighting pedophiles?
You know what, Keith? I think we forget, and Jenny whispered it, so I think everybody heard. She goes, I don't think they talk. We forget that there are entire relationships where somebody can ask you a legit, open, normal question. You could change the subject and no one will bring it up again. Like, there are couples that don't actually talk. They just kind of go through their life together. Right?
I mean, I feel like I've seen the dynamic of my dad getting heated about something and then his wife just being like, oh,
from Hillary to Hollywood. Okay. Yeah. Bye.
So I've seen that dynamic, and it's, her will to do it. I'm just like, oh my God. Because he starts saying shit and I just get so angry. I get so mad. I can't help it.
So it's almost like it makes sense that she's doing that.
She has to protect herself.
You don't think
her mind?
You think at first, like, she haven't ever bothered? Like, hey, here's why the lizard people is fake. Somebody actually took the time to research where it came from. This stupid 12-year-old in a basement, locked up in a cage, but somehow had a computer. Did she try at first?
I think that she's just like, in the effort of self-preservation, I'm just going to be silent on this, because you pick and choose your battles. Maybe other stuff you guys are really great on. But I've never been married before.
Well, I know with my, and they're not right wing, but, or at least, to a QAnon level, but my mom, years ago, I don't even know how it came up, but I don't know how it came up, but we were talking about the Holocaust, and I mentioned how
I thought that's what white people do every Sunday.
Right. And I said, well, and we're very religious Catholics. All this hate with the Jews started with the Catholic Church, and they were promoting the Jews as devils. All that art came from the Catholic Church with horns on Jewish heads. So no, there's no way. I'm like, the Holocaust basically came because of the Catholic Church. She's like, no way, that's true. It's not true. I'm like, okay. So I got home and I'm putting all these easy to understand links together that show movies they put out, the Catholic Church, flyers they put out. I'm like, okay, she's going to, I don't know why this is so important, but I think she needs to know this. Next time I talk to her, she goes, I did see that. And well, I hope that I know if I did something wrong, I'll be forgiven. I made mistakes. I'm like, that's not the point. And I think that's the last time I tried.
But okay, here's my question. What do you want? What reaction did you want?
Understand that the church has a bad history. Just know that. It doesn't mean there's no God. Just know that. Know that the church had something to do with all these Jews dying. That feels important to know.
It doesn't mean there's no God. It just means the God that you know is completely wrong. Hear that, mother? Anyway, pass the potatoes. You haven't heard a thing I fucking said in my life, but this is the one that's going to sink in.
Right.
I mean, it's just the Catholics are responsible for a whole mess of Holocausts, all different kinds.
Yeah, I just thought I'd pick the main one.
One's in Germany.
Sure. Did you get out to vote yesterday?
No, I didn't. I was going to look and see what was going on in my area, but I've been stuck in the desert working, so.
You were going to look and see?
I'm like, okay, what do I need to vote on in Los Angeles? And I was like, well, I don't even have my.
You were going to take a sneak peek, check it out, the previews.
Yeah.
I was gonna do my research, but then I decided to be in the desert.
Well, I didn't do my research, and I'm like, all right, it'll come to me last minute. There's, the chance there's like 17 people running in New York for governor, but
it was 2 different pages this time.
Yeah,
was there a governor race in New York too?
Yes.
Who won?
So the Democrat won.
Okay.
Eric, what's his name? And he was going up against Curtis Sliwa. I said governor, right? I meant mayor.
Mayoral, right? Okay.
I meant mayor, right? The Curtis, he's right wing. He's into he was the head of the Guardian Angels. Still is probably.
They're a bad group, right?
They're the people that I think they're heroes, right? They seem like they go in the subway and they'll fight crime for you.
Yeah, but there's some stuff in the background that I don't know to reference, but I don't know if they're just straight up heroes. So
here's what I'm saying, Jenny. I can't go with stuff in the background, right? So I'm thinking I'll actually
straight up heroes, dude.
Maybe. Yeah, I was gonna look into it, but then I decided to go to the desert.
But then as soon as I went on social media to look things up, I saw that Greg Kelly, who has his this right-wing idiot, he changed his name to Greg Kelly Let's Go Brandon, which we said the other day is code for fuck Joe Biden. I'm voting for Curtis Sliwa for mayor of New York. And honestly, that's my research. I'm like, all right, he's a conspiracy theorist. He's a QAnon level type guy. And I'm like, done. You like this guy? I don't like him. And I wonder if Curtis felt that. Like, no, not you. Yes, go and see who your friends are. And now I know I'm immediately not interested. And what Kenda might be alluding to, whether she knows it or not, the Guardian Angels and Curtis made up a lot of fake crimes. Curtis said that he was kidnapped. He made that up. 3 Guardian Angels worked together to come up with a story where one, they literally doused with gasoline, said like that a bad guy did it and was going to light him on fire. Like they make up things that they solve.
I understand making up crimes because you look at it here. But the funniest crime that people make up is being kidnapped. I think it's so interesting because there's so many movies made by it about kidnapping, and they still somehow get it wrong because I don't think you can fake being kidnapped at all. That's not one that you can do. Where'd you go? How'd you get out? There's so many questions.
Yeah.
Entire movies are written and are still done poorly. So I don't know. I guess they were going to do their research and then they just went to the desert.
Eric Adams.
Anyone who's like who names their organization after Guardian Angel.
It is strange, and I'll put a picture up, but of him when he was in his Guardian Angels outfit back in the day. But it is strange. It's like wearing a Batman costume and being like, I'm here. Like I like the idea, but there's something corny and dorky, and it's very weird. You know what I mean? Eric Adams got 67% of the votes. Curtis Sliwa 28%.
I think that's pretty close.
Really?
Yeah. Well, in terms of like, that's how many people are voting for that guy. Like 30% of us is interested in that so much that they went outside.
Well, today I'm just curious who says they're tougher on sanitation, because there's political flyers everywhere on the ground. It's a mess.
Who's tough on sanitation?
What are you going to do your first day in office? I'm sweeping the streets. It's ridiculous after these things.
Oh, Boston did get its first Asian mayor.
Good for them.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's almost 2022. Exciting. First Asian, first woman.
Yeah.
I love continuing to say that.
Is that the first woman? I really don't know. Find out.
She's just saying whenever it happens, like it's a weird thing to brag about.
Yeah.
As good as it is, you're like, yay, a black woman won an Oscar. And you're like, oh, okay. I mean, good. Jesus, why'd you bring it up? Then they, of course, have the proposals that, those you might have to do some research on, but I had a friend tell me what to do. Here's one of the proposals people voted on. The right to clean air, clean water, and a healthful environment. Would you like people to look into that? Yes, no.
Wait, that was so funny. Yeah. I was reading. I read it twice because I'm like, wait, what am I missing here? Like clean air for everyone, right? Am I reading this right?
And by the way, people to look into that.
Right. It's an amendment and they're going to check it out. The proposed amendment to Article 1 of the New York Constitution would establish the right of each person to clean air and water and a healthful environment. Shall the proposed amendment be approved? Now, assuming it's not a trick, and sometimes they do try to trick you, I hit yes. Assuming it's not a trick, who hits no? It doesn't mean I'm a pussy that cares too much, does it? Because I'll just buy a filter.
It does, because did you work hard enough for you to get clean air? What makes you?
Yeah, did you
earn it?
I didn't have clean air when I was a kid, and I don't want these pansies growing up knowing what clean air is.
These immigrants coming in and taking our clean air. That's what I'm talking about. Okay,
and all these people taking the handouts of clean air. That's just, I mean, bootstraps. We heard of bootstraps, right? Let's give those out.
We're the immune system party, and clean bad air and bad water makes you stronger. Oh my God.
I grew up with bad air. You got to grow up with bad air. So you know what it's like. It makes you tougher. Okay.
Yeah.
Tougher. Cough and blood is a sign of middle class.
Look how much fun I am. What do you need to be more fun?
I had to pay my student loans, so you do. Oh, you're hungry? Well, I just ate.
Granted, my student loans were a lot cheaper than yours are, but you know what?
Right. Should people running for office have to have a therapist on call?
I think so. Yeah, they probably already have a therapist, don't you think?
Shouldn't we all? But
I'm saying, should that be a turnoff? We should say like, no, he doesn't have not only going 3 times a week, you got a problem. But I do want to know you have them on speed dial.
Look, even therapists have therapists, right? So why wouldn't someone in that level of power, they should be seeing somebody. And if they were like, I've been to therapy for 10 years and I don't feel the need to have one right now, I'd be like, all right. But if they were like, I have never gone to therapy, I'd be like, this person needs to be committed immediately and under surveillance. Okay.
2021, mental health is a thing and we can talk about it now, not be embarrassed. So let me tell you about BetterHelp. Okay. I use it and look how well adjusted I am. Kenda uses it. She's been doing it longer. You can tell. But I think it can help you out too. It's customized online therapy. They offer video, phone, and even live chat sessions with your therapist. You don't even have to see anyone on camera if you don't want to. And it's more affordable than in-person therapy, the opposite of what I would think. You can do it at your convenience. You can communicate with a new therapist in under 48 hours. Join the millions of people who are seeing what therapy is all about. See if it's for you. You're your greatest asset. Come on now.
See if it's for you. How is it not for you?
It's not for you. They go, you know what? We're not even going to charge you for your first visit. It's not for you. It's not. You're too healthy.
Yeah. I have self-reflected plenty in my lifetime. Thank you so much. Everybody enjoys my company.
This podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp, HELP. And Keith and the Girl listeners get 10% off your first month at betterhelp.com/KATG. That's betterhelp.com/KATG. Okay. Now, you got to look into your patterns. You got to look into what you're doing day to day. We were talking the other day about Nick Cannon, whose therapist told him, hey, you're having way, way, way too many babies, it seems. There's something you told me where you don't like it either. So I think we got to do something about this.
Keith is paraphrasing perfectly.
Can he afford the babies? Then it's fine.
The father of he must have been complaining. The therapist wouldn't just be like, I was looking in the newspaper, Nick. I'd like to assume.
Okay, Nick, that's what I was thinking. Is the therapist just like, I've been seeing that you
right? A celebrity joins in. And he's like, oh, hold on a second. I have People magazine here. But what I would say is. Now they talk to the person. Father of 7, Nick Cannon, who had no exaggeration. He's had 4 children with 3 different women in under a year. So that's a lot going on. I don't know how you're going to be there for everybody. But he was on Halloween. He went to a strip club to DJ and party, throwing money out to the women. Do you bring that up to your therapist?
I feel like the therapist isn't doing a good job.
Right.
If your client is having that many kids in a year, you're missing something.
Maybe it was a new one. Maybe it's a new one. Like, hey, what do you think? Hold on. I'm getting another phone call. Like, okay, I figured it out. Maybe stay celibate until we figure out what the problem is.
Wait,
okay.
Therapists aren't doctors, are they? No. What do you call your therapist?
I think it depends. But anyway,
but this is okay. To me, this isn't on purpose. Like 3 women are not. Are we all planning our child with this person in the same year? I think no one cares about contraception. No one cares about baby blocking.
Yeah, but
you're just jizzing wherever you want.
Wouldn't the second one you be like, oh man, it looks like my sperm is pretty great. So
right.
I'm gonna save this.
Well, anyway,
inside of you.
I quit drinking. This for me?
I quit drinking, but I'm going to DJ the liquor store tonight if you guys want to come by.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Start throwing some bottles around. Ha, 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 ha.
But what does he care? They obviously are cool with it. You know what I mean? I don't know. You might want to have a baby by this guy, Nick, because he can afford a 10th baby.
Yeah, he probably can afford all the babies. So it's not.
Oh, no one's saying the women need to go to therapy. We're saying Nick does.
Nick.
That's the difference. The women are fine.
Nick needs to figure out what hole he's filling with all these babies.
Right.
End on a different note, Nick.
Yeah.
Come on. Put it somewhere else.
I know you're filling a hole, but it's not going to fill the hole. You know what I mean?
Why can't you pay child support? I have 6 other babies.
He's fine.
Alec Baldwin's daughter, Ireland, has been slammed over her tone-deaf Halloween costume in which she appeared with her boyfriend oozing fake blood. This is a week after the onset gun accident that her dad had, of course. What do we think? Too much?
What is it? What are they dressed up as?
Blood. They just have white outfits on and blood all over them.
Yeah, I don't think Ireland should give a shit.
I don't, maybe she should because somebody just died by her father's hands by accident in a bloody thing. But also, are we paying a little too close attention? Are they just being lazy with their costumes?
Well, that's the thing. I think if I accidentally killed somebody, I think a relation of mine could be SpongeBob instead.
If my father accidentally just a week ago killed someone by accident, I might not even be doing Halloween for a minute.
Well, this is what I'm saying.
Our family is going through some shit. And yeah, maybe I wouldn't think of, but you're so far removed. I guess it is exactly what they called it. Just tone deaf. Like you can't even hear any music, let alone this tone.
That I don't care.
No, you don't have to
let her
care.
do what she wants. Who gives a shit? She didn't shoot anybody.
It's just, okay. So yes, do whatever you want, but we're going to think like,
that's what she said. People complain. She goes, who'd I kill?
I was thinking, well, sorry, go ahead.
You just have to think of a little bit of the thought process, and you have to assume that she's not even thinking of her dad. And maybe that's because her dad's an asshole.
She is, though. She is, though, because it came with this post on Instagram. So we stayed in for Halloween this year. There are reporters and paparazzi hanging out all over my street, being super fun and invading all my privacy, which is always a good time. We didn't think we would celebrate, but we found some old costumes and blood and really good food, drank tequila, had a couple friends over. How was your Halloween? By the way, did people like reading that? I had friends over and we had great food and had a real good time. And you probably didn't have as much fun as I did. Do celebrities think we like that? A, do we? B, and
care about us.
You don't think they do care, right?
I cannot wait to become one and not give a shit about any of you.
But will you still ask me how my Halloween went, even though you don't care?
No, I'll be like, I bet it wasn't as good as mine.
This is like, they keep hounding me because my dad shot somebody.
Rica.
Right. They keep hounding me because my dad shot somebody. Anyway, we found fake blood and we have the best food.
That's why I'm thinking she's not thinking about anybody but herself, which.
No, but none of them do.
Right.
Did you go out trick-or-treating with your mom? I mean, not that mom that we're talking about. I meant.
I feel like I feel pretty bad for Alec Baldwin because
of course,
it's like he went on that rant about IATSE and like producers not caring, and then this happened, and I was like, God damn it.
Yeah, I was saying in a different episode. I mean, if you're gonna kill someone, shouldn't you want to and know you're about to?
And I think we should really be much more mad at the executives and like them cutting corners and hiring a 26-year-old arms person to do arms shit.
I think everyone's mad at the right person. I don't think anyone's mad at Alec Baldwin. I think it's just that's where the story is at his house.
All right, here's another
with tequila.
Right. Here's another fun celebrity story. You know what? They should have held guns in the picture. Like, hey, just fucking around. Elijah Wood. He's from Lord of the Rings, The Bad Son. How good was that?
So good.
The Good Son, right?
Right.
Anyway.
Or is it?
Hello, spoiler. He collects NFT art, right?
Yeah.
Whatever that bullshit is. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And he posted, hey, loving this piece of non-tangible art. I don't have it physical, but I own it. Haha, that's fun. He's been buying all this art from some 74-year-old artist. And now it's out in the news that the artist is a white supremacist and hasn't been hiding it. And Liza's like, God damn it. I was just trying to be goofy. I'm rich. God damn it.
What was the art? I want to know what it was that he was buying.
Inside out Nazi symbols, but like,
The last thing he posted like a picture of a bust of a zombie. Blood coming out of some gold looking zombie head and chest. And one of them
was just the word Yorf Kampf.
That doesn't sound good.
But like with blood.
I mean, Picasso, is an awful human. His shit's still in the museums.
Everyone in history is an awful human. There is not a statue that we have erected that we can't go back and go, he raped his wife. But like back then it wasn't illegal. Anyway.
I think we should be more upset that he's buying NFTs than anything else. Just in general, NFTs.
What's the story on Picasso when people tell me how good the art is and I think it sucks? What can I bring up?
That he was really shitty to women and like, did he like diddle some underage ladies?
It's interesting. It starts with didn't he? But okay. All right.
He did maybe. This is the one that I always bring up is I always say, well, David Bowie, raped a 14-year-old girl and everyone still loves him.
I didn't know that. What .com do you go to? And I don't
you didn't know?
There.
This is like, I mean,
no.
So, I can't believe this is like front page news to you. Yeah. So, the woman who it happened to, she talks about it very openly. She was like a young groupie. She dated, I believe that she dated one of the guys from some other 70s band, whatever. But basically, yeah, he like took her virginity, and like she doesn't regret. She's not like, I regret it. She's like, it's the coolest thing ever. And it's like, okay, that's fine. But also, like, if we're gonna throw stones at people, just remember. And I love David Bowie. I love him and I will continue to listen to him. But like,
he took your virginity too?
I wish he did. We have the same birthday. But like, yeah, it's just like people just like to pick and choose who they're going to hate.
No, I think we just don't know. This was news to me.
Oh, yeah.
She says, this woman, he focused his famously two-colored eyes on me and said, Lori, darling, can you come with me? He walked me through his bedroom and into the bathroom where he dropped his kimono. Man, that sounds like David. He got into the tub already filled with water and asked me to wash him. Of course I did. Then he escorted me into the bedroom, gently took off my clothes and de-virginized me.
Ew, de-virginized me.
Yeah.
This is the description you get from a virgin, not made love to me and fuck me silly. I'm 14 and he de-virginized me. How old was he?
15. I'm not sure. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know. I lost my virginity to David Bowie was an article she wrote, Confessions of a 70s Groupie.
Yeah.
What do I do now? I have a spin-off show called Diamond Dogs. What the fuck do I do?
I mean, but isn't that the choice? Can you separate the art from the artist?
Keith,
no, because I
separate the NFTs from the white supremacists.
If it makes you feel any better, I didn't know that connection, Keith.
Me neither. And
you know this.
No. I didn't know.
Everyone knew this.
I didn't know the Diamond Dogs connection.
Oh, the Diamond.
Okay, then I made it up. Okay, so that's not true. We just thought it was clever. Okay, done. Ooh,
like it's just everyone sucks, and people are of their time, and like whatever. And I'm just
but if you find out you're dating a boyfriend, he rapes a 14-year-old, does he go David Bowie? We all have things, Jenny.
Well, am I dating David Bowie?
You wish you could. So that's interesting. Now, what movie do you want to see, honey? Do you wish you got to date Picasso? Right. Taxi Driver.
The classic movie.
The 14-year-old Jodie Foster prostitute.
You know what? Now I'm glad I just recently watched that movie for the first time. And for me, it was just in time to hear that joke and perfectly get it. Oh, mwah. Oh.
You know what? I went to the David Bowie exhibit. They didn't bring us up once. I'm touching his British clothes. I'm watching some romance movie he was in, and not once do they bring this up. He's telling me about some machine he invented that randomly puts words in a pattern and he turns that into a song. Not once did he mention
that he de-virginized a girl.
He de-virginized a woman slowly after getting out of a tub.
Yep. In his kimono.
First wash me.
Yeah.
What a dick move. Wash me. If you're gonna do this awful thing, wash her. Like, treat her nicely.
Wash her afterwards. Ugh. Ew.
Oh wow.
I don't know. I'm sure at like 16, if I had sex with David Bowie, I'd tell everyone. I'd be like, oh fuck yeah.
I even think 16 is different.
14, I think it's different.
16 you might 14, look 18 and 14, man. I don't know. 14.
Yeah, but like 14, who I wanted to take my virginity is very different. It would have been one of the members of Korn.
Hold on, I got to Google them now. You know what? I'm done. I'm turning on my computer.
I don't want to lose my virginity to anyone who describes it as de-virgining you. And now I de-virgin you. I know that was her description, but it's still in the air.
Well, I make every guy I sleep with now say that out loud just before they go in.
I remember, I don't know, what is it like for millennials? Because for Gen X people, it was a very big deal for a guy to, and we're using it again, de-virgin someone. It was very much a big deal if you were there first. And in fact, if you weren't there first, they're kind of skeeved out. Yeah. There was like I was her first. Does that still go on? And then also ask your sister.
I think it does. I should actually ask my Gen Z sister about that. And maybe her and I will talk about that on our podcast, which is yet to be named. I think like for me, I lost mine at 17 to my friend.
That's the nicest version.
It was It was
Yeah.
nice. And then we didn't talk for a little bit, and then we were fine.
Okay.
Do you know why
So,
you didn't talk? Because it was just awkward, or he didn't talk back?
We had sex, and then I literally got up and was like, "We're not dating."
I'm open.
I was very bad at. I've always been very bad at relationships.
You know what? I know how
It's
people.
so funny too. Is like my self-esteem was so low. Even after we fucked, I was like, "There's no way this person would want to date me."
Mm.
Like we had been friends forever. We fucked. He clearly liked me, and I still was like, "There's no way."
She's like, "You'd never fuck me," and he's like, "We're fucking now." She's like, I doubt it. I doubt it. I don't know. I see how
It's your
people.
kimono, dude. I don't trust this.
I see how people deal with facts. You know what? I don't know this woman. Doubt it. Done. And we're back. That's one woman. I wonder. Okay. Did you know they have all these cryptos are out there, and I only know the most popular ones because I don't really study it. But I didn't know that there's like cryptos for everything. Squid Game had a crypto.
Didn't
Tiger
they, like,
King had a
defraud
crypto.
everybody though?
Yes. Turns out that's game number 7.
Ooh. I never saw Squid Game. So
These Squid Game, there's 6 games. The Squid Game, you're caught up now. The Squid Game investors put in the money. Other people start putting money to the tune of $120 million, and then just ran and took everything. Not that I really understand what that means.
Where are
but
they?
Everybody lost all their money. They're flying out of the country. It sounds like.
Wow.
Like picture you have a stock, you looked at it, and all your money's zero now. I don't know how that works, but that happened. Yeah, don't you?
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, the game, the movie, the show is so fucked up. Don't invest money into this idea.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It'd be like, oh, it's Texas Chainsaw Massacre coin. Oh, how can I be part of that? You give me your money? Absolutely.
It's so funny because the whole thing is about, how capitalism is the worst. And then they just run your pockets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Your marbles are rocks and fuck you.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Oh, Jenny, wait until you see this, then rewind this and listen to it. Keith was very hilarious just now.
Speaking of Tiger King, there's going to be a Tiger King 2. Not long ago, I said how Carol Baskin is having a, what's it called?
Reality
cage
show?
fight, something like this. Tiger Cage or something on Discovery Channel that she wants to be part of. She does not want to be part of Netflix's Tiger King 2, and she's suing because promos came out. She says they're using old footage, and she didn't know that there'd ever be a part 2. Not that matters. She wouldn't know how often they're going to use the footage. But a judge said, get the fuck out of here.
I bet Netflix covered their asses on part 2. I bet when you first signed it, they were like, and we can use this footage in part 1 through 1 million through the universe. Yeah.
It is ours.
Everything you say in front of this tape, we can rejudge and put out as a new, you know what? And now that you're suing us, we're going to make a part through 10.
Yeah.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You have said enough shit that we can create an entire YouTube channel just based off of stupid ass 1-minute clips. Good luck getting a lawyer. What the fuck?
If I'm the editor and you sued me and I knew my rights, and then I'd be like, okay, thank you. And now I'm gonna type that into the screen. She has just sued us for blah blah blah. Thank you. I have. Hey, I'm having Raiders block. Tell her that we're working on something about her. Perfect. There's a rock through my window. Thank you. Type. Perfect.
I didn't even watch Tiger King. That's still funny.
Thank you.
I don't have to watch everything.
It's okay. No. It felt like eons ago.
Yeah.
Right. That's true. Yeah.
I think this one's supposedly according to the promo, it focuses a lot more on did she kill her
have
first
left
on whatever they have on the cutting room floor,
whatever
on her and her the husband that she supposedly killed.
Okay. Oh, they left that out. Like the first one.
Right. We didn't get enough.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. This is it.
She did it.
This is so gonna be all of you looking forward to number 2. This is gonna be the leftover shit that they compiled together. They didn't this whole time know that they were going to come out with a part 2. They're now like paying editors overtime to be like, What's the sentence you took out in the first one? Put it in the second one.
Right.
Is that guy still in prison?
Yeah, he's going to be they're fighting it, but he's going to be in there for another 20 years or so.
Jesus.
Yeah. He's done. He's done with these
He
cats.
will never financially recover from this.
No, he will not. So here's what you want to do. Okay. I'm going to follow everything Jenny's up to. And she's going to be taping a new 1 hour special. I was just thinking about this. It's time for a new album.
It's a new album. It's a new special. It's all new, baby.
So
this one's called R. Kelly's new album. The clever angle. You'll see.
She's going David Bowie this time because they're all garbage anyway.
Right.
Yep.
Well, today was a bummer show.
It's going to be called de-virginizing my audience.
Right. She's taping the new 1 hour special on November 14th at Littlefields in Brooklyn.
Ooh, I love that space.
Mm-hmm.
It's part of the New York Comedy Festival, but you watch it like it's a regular thing, you know?
Yeah. So, well, we were looking for the venue, and then they were like, oh, well, the New York Comedy Festival is going to be here. And then I was like, let's ask if we can be part of their festival. Right. And they were like, sure. So
what does that mean, by the way? We were part of that before. What the fuck does it mean?
To be part of the festival?
Yeah.
It means that you've won.
Okay. Well, congrats.
I don't know.
Well, she's going to be winning two shows. 6:30 and 9 p.m. 6:30, 9 p.m. Both are free. November 14th. You can follow her on social media, jennyzigrino.com, and of course at Jenny Zigrino for Twitter, for Instagram. You know.
Yeah. Can I also say
if you're in New York, I'm sorry.
No, we're not
hold
done,
your excitement.
Wait, but I have to say something about the special.
No, I'm excited. No, it is very exciting. And if you're in New York, this is free. Get your stupid tickets. This is ridiculous. Littlefield is a really fun venue, and this show is going to be fantastic. Now, Jenny, why are you excited? For what fucking reason?
Okay, I'm excited because this has been funded by like fans and family and friends, and it's like a complete like grassroots thing to get this made. And it's like, you know, it's fucking the hustle times 10 that I've never had to hustle for before in my life. So just fucking come out. Just do it. I've worked really hard on this. Okay. And
imagine I'm family and I fund it and then you make fun of me on stage.
I know.
That's my microphone. Cut it. Turn off my camera.
Fund me if you guys do want to add a couple of $5 to the people.
How do you do that?
Spending. It's in my links in my bio on my Instagram is like the GoFundMe for it. So we're still collecting them donations, and I started an OnlyFans.
Ooh,
this as well. It's just photos of my butt with underwear. It's not anything that can't go on Instagram.
Let me tell you something about OnlyFans. It's progressive. Okay.
Oh, you have no idea. The minute, so I turned it used to be free, and then you would just like buy a photo pack of like me and some lingerie, and then now I've been like, I'm going to do subscription. The minute I turned on subscription, I got like 5 messages from people being like, okay, so I subscribed. Do I get nudity now? I'm like, it was $5 for you to subscribe. You think now I'm going to show you a nipple? Like, fuck off, dude.
And then you charge extra for yelling at them for asking a question. That's when you really rake it in.
I do this thing where I do dick roasts. So they send me a picture of their dick and I roast it.
Do you really?
It's really fun. Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah, this is going to be sexual fast. I'm in for $5.
Fun. I mean, I'm fully clothed when I do it. And I'm just like mostly I'm like, your dick is fine, but the art decor of your room is disgusting. Like, you know, you didn't even take your pants off for this. What are you doing? Also, why are you taking it from like the chest here? And then all you see is the tip of the wiener over the stomach. I'm just like, what is wrong with you guys? Mostly I'm just doing like, I'm critiquing them and like, you're taking bad dick photos.
Did anybody ever get pissed off?
No, they love it.
They love it. Guys are sick, right? It's just like, as long as I can show it to you, who cares?
I don't care.
You saw it and I don't care. Yeah. Spit on me. You saw it. Gotcha.
I love penises. They're so great.
Right?
Yeah.
How much does it cost to roast a penis?
$50.
Okay, that's fair. Would you roast a vag?
I would totally roast a vag.
Okay.
I'll tell you how much I hate it.
$50 is great.
Yeah, I'm just like, hey, your dick is dumb. And then that's it.
You think you could roast
Like
a
a
vagina?
10-second video.
You don't think you'd feel bad? Like, you're making a woman feel bad. You don't think that would bother you?
No, they paid for it. They want it.
Okay. All right.
They
I don't
want to
know.
be humiliated. There is like a whole thing. I'm trying to work on my I would love to do just be like a video, make videos where I just yell at people.
Plus, like, if it's a vagina, it's a trans man vagina because the fucking guys always want to be yelled at for no reason. I just want to show you my junk.
No, there are women who want to be embarrassed about their vaginas too.
Yeah, but my joke doesn't go well if women are. It's got to be all men. It's got to be.
We'll see tonight if my girlfriend's one of those women. Maybe it's just something we've been
yell into her vagina about how much you don't like it.
What is this?
See what happens.
Yeah.
Why does it look like that?
Hello.
How about the band Poison? Did they do anything wrong? I hope not.
Ooh, my computer almost fell over.
They did everything wrong.
Oh, my Lord. Oh, God. What a day. Jenny, great seeing you again. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, guys. Hopefully, if you have time, come see the special.
Oh, yeah.
If not, the album will be out. It's called Gen Z.
Clever.
You get it?
Mm-hmm. Wait, what's your sister's name? Because I want to try to find a podcast name.
Oh, her name is Olivia.
Oh, that's not going to work. Can you?
There's nothing there.
I'll ask her to change.
Because you can call the show Gen Z because she's from Gen Z, but you are Gen Z.
True.
All right, we're workshopping. No, I hear that true, and I reject it. I was
going to call it Generational Gap.
And then just call it the Gap for short and wait until they see.
Yeah,
you.
welcome to the Gap.
Okay, we'll go with yours.
Generational Gap.
Yeah.
Okay, I have one more. Okay. Michael Jackson. Anything going on that I need
Wait, is that what we're calling the podcast? Oh, you're asking if he's... Well, here's the crazy thing about Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
He's in a lot of trouble because
he's in hell.
The monkey is a pet. And PETA went crazy about it.
PETA will stop you in your tracks fast. So that's it. Mark your calendar. I'm very, very excited. The 11th, we'll be doing a reading if you helped support that Kickstarter of the Dad Emails book. And the 5th, in 2 days? I don't have a calculator. In about 2 days, the new Kickstarter is starting. There's some fun rewards for you. Okay. Thank you very much.
Oh, wait. Someone sent me a message on OnlyFans.
Nice.
They asked me to take a photo of me in my underwear. Or no, on the toilet.
You gonna do it?
No.
Are you taking it like a photo of your face while on the toilet?
I already did take a photo of me on the toilet for this person where it's just like a side view. And I got paid money for that. And it's like, there's no nudity. What I would post it on Instagram, so I don't give a shit. But they want like a frontal one of me on the toilet. And I'm like, no.
That's the good one. Yeah. What do you get paid for a side toilet shot?
I got like $25 for that photo.
Not bad at all. And you're shitting anyway. So why not? Right.
And I was taking a shit. So I was like, make money. I think the most I've actually asked a couple people if they want to be my sugar daddy. And then I tell them the price and they're like, oh no, it's $500 a week.
That's not bad.
Whatever.
That's standard, I think.
I did a post where I took a video of me getting a pedicure and I made like $300 off that video.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So I haven't like really done anything with nudity. And then I did a series where I did like sexy Nadja from What We Do in the Shadows.
Mm-hmm.
And just in lingerie, but like dressed up, and that got a good response. But yeah,
why does it cost? Like, are you selling to one person or that's just...
So one person, so the way it was before is it was free. You could subscribe for free, but you had
a la
packs
carte
you could buy. So like, yeah, so like I'd be like, here's 3 photos for $5 of me in underwear. Boom.
Oh,
or
wow.
like the thing I just did is I made a video of me trying on different outfits for the special. And then I was like, tell me what you guys think. And then it has, of course, me in underwear in between it. Just be like undressing. And again, something I'd put on Instagram anyways. And that they can buy that for like $15. And that's at like $175.
Wow. You should have a Gen X person on your Generation Gap thing. because
This just goes,
this,
wow.
this is
What?
porn for our generation. This is like everyone's speaking so casually. Also, like I'm rewatching Sex in the City, and like somebody asked Charlotte to go up her butt, and they all got together and talked about like, should we do up the butt? Then we're the up the butt girl and all this shit. And now it's like, you didn't fuck him in the ass. Like that's crazy. You know,
didn't
all this
peg
kind of
him?
shit.
Do you even love him? Jesus.
Right. Did you even have sex? Yeah,
I'm kind of into it. Like I have different lovers in different cities that like when I'm in the city, I'll be like, hey, what's up?
Nice.
And like never thought I could do that in my 20s. I'd be like, no, there's only one person who loves me. Now I'm like, nah, fuck that shit.
Literally.
Yeah.
Do you know
I
this
will fuck it.
OnlyFans stuff? It wasn't called OnlyFans, but that's how Billy Bob Thornton got his start. Made some money to go to Hollywood.
What do you do?
Interesting. He had pictures of him on the toilet.
That's not true.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. Isn't that interesting?
No, I don't think that's true at all.
I don't know him.
I'll call him and ask him.
Oh, okay. Then never. I don't know. I don't know for sure.
He'll be like, who is this? What? Hey, it's me. Don't you remember?